The day before the college entrance exam application deadline, I discovered that my childhood friend had filled out my application for a university 2,000 kilometers away in the south. Panicked, I asked him why. He casually smiled. "Oh, Eva filled it in for you. She said it was just a joke. You can just change it back to a local one yourself." Eva, the transfer student who insisted on calling my childhood friend her big brother. I was silent for a long time. So, something as important as my future could be treated as a joke. I didn't argue. I just packed my bags and headed south when the school year started. But Alex's expression changed. "I told you to change it back to a local one." "You didn't." "Nope." Chapter 1. When I found out my first choice university was Jeongda, 2,000 kilometers away, I panicked. I had clearly asked Alex to fill in Harbin Institute of Technology, the school we had always dreamed of attending together. But now, it was Jeongda. Had I not noticed in time, I wouldn't have had a chance to change it. While resubmitting my choices, I called Alex and asked what happened. He casually replied, "Oh, forgot to tell you. Eva came over while I was helping you with your application. She insisted on playing a joke and chose Jeongda instead. The deadline's tomorrow, just change it back to hit yourself." Alex's explanation was light, as if it were nothing important. I pursed my lips, staring at Jeongda on the form, unable to explain how I felt. Still, I asked him, "So you think this is no big deal? You're angry again. Is that necessary? It's not like it can't be changed." "It was just a joke." I clenched the mouse in my hand and let go, my voice raspy. If I hadn't noticed in time, this so-called joke would have changed my entire future. What Eva did is basically fraud. I could sue her. Alex's tone sharpened instantly. "Lisa, you're being ridiculous. It was just a joke, and you want to sue Eva? When will you stop being so jealous of her for no reason?" He got colder and colder. "I've told you 100 times, she's just a southern transfer student who doesn't know anyone here. I sit next to her in class, so she sees me as her big brother. So what if I joke around with my little sister? If you're going to sue her, sue me too." Chapter 2. Only the dial tone was left on the other end. Alex had hung up. I sat there in a daze, lost in a brief moment of confusion. Alex and I had grown up together for 12 years, elementary, middle, and high school, always inseparable. I still remembered his young tear-streaked face the day he pulled me from the lake when we were 6. And at 16, his fierce expression as he beat my abusive father until he was bloodied and begging on the floor. I had grown used to his presence over the years. Everyone said I couldn't live without him. So my college plans were entirely built around him. But now, he was going to hit, and I to Jeongda, with 2,000 kilometers, and an Eva, between us. I could still change my choice with just a few clicks. But somehow, I felt so exhausted I couldn't even move my hand. Chapter 3. After sitting for a long while, Grandma called me, said a classmate was here. When I stepped out, Petite Eva was waving at me in a white dress. "Lisa, I just called Alex. He's feeling really down and asked me to go drinking with him. Is that okay?" She got straight to the point, her voice delicate and cautious, yet laced with an obvious sense of smugness. She had always acted this way in front of me throughout senior year. Weak, pitiful, gleeful. And now, even face to face, she was no different. I stared at her coldly, still not understanding what Alex saw in this fake and cloying girl. In fact, he hadn't liked her at first, thought she was manipulative. But one day during basketball, he twisted his ankle. Before I could react, Eva rushed off in tears to find ice for him. Alex was stunned. Though he later rejected her confession, he no longer kept his distance. Eventually, Eva just declared herself his little sister. Everyone at school knew Alex now had a southern Mei Mei. And me, I'd earned a new nickname, Northeastern Ex-Wife. People would laugh hysterically at that. Even Alex couldn't help chuckling once. But he rubbed my head and promised, "You're not the ex. You'll always be the one and only." Chapter 4. Am I still the current girlfriend? I let out a bitter laugh and looked straight into Eva's eyes. She looked at me timidly and asked again, "Lisa, can I go have drinks with Alex?" "If it bothers you, I won't go." Before I could answer, Alex walked over from not far away. His brows were tightly furrowed, and his tone was displeased. "Eva, I told you to come find me. Why are you talking to Lisa? I wasn't sure if I should go drinking with you, so I came to ask Lisa first. Eva was flustered, clearly scared that Alex would get upset. Alex's expression softened. He gently touched her hair and said, "Silly girl, why ask Lisa? If I ask you to drink with me, then go." But Eva lowered her head, clearly delighted inside, but still playing coy, dragging out the act. Alex glanced at me with a hint of irritation. "Look at how much Eva cares about your feelings. And you can't even take a joke." To him, Eva switching my college application was just a harmless prank. If I got mad, I was the one being unreasonable. But why should that be on me? I pointed at Eva and snapped. "She cares about me? Do you even know how much crap she pulled during our final year of high school? She gave you breakfast in front of me, wrote you love letters, confessed to you like she had no shame. She kept playing dumb, clinging to you and calling you brother all the time like this was some cheesy social media skit. She called me sis in public, but secretly wished I'd drop dead. Just looking at her makes me sick." With every word I spat, Eva's face stiffened further. In the end, she dropped her head and started trembling and crying. Alex glared at me, his face dark with anger. "Are you done? When did you become so vulgar? Or are you really trying to become the ex-girlfriend from the Northeast?" Chapter 5. I froze. A sharp pain stabbed at my heart. So, Alex was using that humiliating nickname too. What he really meant was, "Do you want to break up?" Because if we did break up, I would be the ex from the Northeast. I raised my head and stared at Alex for a long, long time. As if looking through time itself, through all the sweet, bitter, and painful moments of our 12 years together. Alex met my eyes for a moment. His gaze flickered, and his expression gradually softened. I knew him too well. We knew each other too well. One glance was enough to read each other's minds. Those 12 years, I was there for him night and day. It was me who stayed up wiping his forehead with warm towels when he had a fever. I was the one who burned my hands cooking his favorite braised pork. It was my lap he rested on every weekend night watching the stars. We were never apart. We never blamed each other. But this time, Alex was different. Even though he softened, he still chose to defend Eva. "She's generous. She's not holding it against you. Just apologize and let it go." In that moment, it felt like a giant hand crushed all 12 years into dust. I stopped looking at him and smiled, finally letting go. "No." His face darkened again. "Lisa, are you testing my limits? Since when did Alex have limits?" "Oh, right. He did have limits. I used to be his bottom line. He never let anyone hurt me. But now, his bottom line has shifted. Now, it's Eva." Suddenly, it all felt meaningless. I turned around and said, "Do whatever you want." Alex clenched his fists and turned away too, leaving with Eva. Chapter 6. I returned to my room and once again stared at the university application page. It was already very late, just 2 hours left until midnight. After midnight, I wouldn't be able to change my application anymore. That meant I'd be going to Jungda University. But I didn't change it. I just sat there in silence for a while, then began searching everything I could about Jungda. Everything about life in the South. Without realizing it, the clock hit 12. The deadline had passed. Compared to the initial panic, I now felt surprisingly calm. Turns out, not going to the same university as Alex wasn't such a big deal after all. I shut the computer. My best friend Diana video called me, her face full of fury. "Lisa, guess who I saw at the bar? Alex and Eva, along with their crew of brown-nosers. They're playing Truth or Dare, and it looks like Alex and Eva are about to kiss." She turned the camera to a corner of the bar and crept closer. I saw Alex. He was surrounded by classmates, everyone shouting excitedly. "Alex, pick someone to kiss. And it has to be a full 3-minute French kiss." Alex looked annoyed, while Eva's face was already beet red. She was the only girl there, so it was obvious who he'd have to kiss. Just then, one of the guys came up with a sleazy idea. Alex can call for backup. After all, he's stuck between two girls, either kiss Eva, or call your ex from the Northeast. Yeah. Let the chaos begin. Everyone laughed hysterically. Eva pouted and clung to Alex's arm. He didn't pull away. Clearly irritated, Alex scratched his head, hesitated, and then took out his phone. Eva's face turned pale instantly. Alex didn't even look at her. He called me. I answered, and Alex, putting on a stern face, said, "I've calmed down. I was too harsh earlier. Come over here and apologize to Eva, and I'll play truth or dare with you." I said nothing. Alex frowned. "What, you can't even say sorry?" "It's not that hard." "It's not that it's hard. It's that it's impossible. As impossible as going back to Harbin Tech." "Fine." Heat being stubborn. "I'm going to play with Eva then. You know what kind of dare we're doing." I didn't reply. I just hung up. Diana immediately called again. In the video, Alex smashed his glass on the floor. The whole group went silent. Eva teared up and murmured, "Alex, we don't have to kiss, don't be mad." "Who said I wouldn't kiss you?" Alex suddenly looked straight into the camera. He had noticed Diana. She panicked and tried to run. Alex sneered. "Keep filming. Let your dear best friend see what I'm doing." Then he lunged forward and kissed Eva full on the lips. Eva melted in his arms, wrapping her hands around his waist, face flushed. The others cheered loudly. "Damn. That's hot." My heart clenched for a moment. Like a handful of torn cotton, suddenly pressed together in someone's palm. But then the wind blew, and the cotton scattered again. I ended the video call and calmly went downstairs. "Grandma, can you prepare a few jars of chili sauce for me? I want to take them to school. Food in the South is too bland. How will I survive without chili?" Chapter 7. I knew adjusting to life in the South wouldn't be easy. Chili sauce was just a small comfort. What mattered more was that I'd have to work hard on my own. The next day, I invited Diana to a famous Cantonese restaurant in the city. Might as well get a head start on experiencing the Guangfu lifestyle. Diana was surprised. "After what Alex did to you last night, you're still in the mood to eat out?" I smiled. "Why wouldn't I be? Food is life." Cantonese food was mild in flavor, but when I really tasted it, there was a fresh, natural sweetness. Surprisingly, I liked it. I was in such a good mood I even hummed a song on the way home. Diana kept watching me, then asked again, "Have you really moved on? I heard Alex and Eva are officially together now." I didn't answer. When we passed the lake in the park, I asked her to head home first. I walked in alone and stood by the water, letting the breeze hit my face. I used to love coming here when I was little. Whenever my parents fought, this place became my shelter. I remembered when I was 6. My mom stormed out crying, and my dad slapped me hard. I came here to cry in the wind. Back then I didn't understand what death meant. I just felt exhausted and afraid. So I jumped into the lake. Alex, still a kid himself, happened to be passing by and pulled me out. It was the first time I realized someone cared about me. From that day on, the innocent little girl became the little boy's shadow. We played hide and seek by the lake, watched people fish, shared snacks, and even drank from the same bottle. When we hit puberty, we'd go to the pavilion by the lake at night to look at the moon and stars. Alex liked lying in my lap, looking at the sky. "Lisa, you smell kind of sweet," he'd say out of nowhere. I'd blush and say, "No, I don't." Back then, I didn't know it, but something unspoken was blooming. We were slowly sketching the shape of love. When I was 16, Alex came to my house. He saw my dad hitting me again. He lost it, charged in and punched him over and over until my dad collapsed, bloody and begging. Blood splattered on me, but I didn't feel scared. I just stared at Alex, unwilling to blink. I wanted to look at him forever. So, can I really let him go? Chapter 8. The truth is, I never really let go. It was Eva who helped me realize that. She transferred to our school in senior year and immediately insisted on calling Alex her brother. After that, the weekend stargazing became a solo activity. Every weekend, I still went out to look at the stars. Though maybe it wasn't really about the stars, after all, I wasn't a kid anymore. I just wanted an excuse to ask Alex to come out. But he'd always say he was busy, watching movies, shopping, breakdancing. And there was always a delicate giggling voice by his side. 1 month before the college entrance exams, I went to the lakeside pavilion again. This time, I didn't even bother asking Alex. I just quietly stared at the stars, lost in thought. Until a large hand grabbed my collar, the stench of alcohol overwhelming. My dad had come back from working out of town. He caught me and immediately started hitting me. You damn girl. The exams are coming and you're still out playing. Think I won't discipline you? He didn't wait for an answer, just slapped me twice across the face. I knew he was doing this for revenge. Because years ago, after Alex hit him, Alex's family stepped in and settled things. My dad feared them. That's why he left town to work. Now, drunk and back home, he brought old and new grudges together. I was shaking in fear, blood filling my mouth. My vision blurred. You little slut. Flirting with random guys at your age. Got some bastard to beat me up for you. No wonder your mom ran off and didn't want you. He threw me to the ground and kicked me hard, twice. Fuck. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. I come home and not even a damn person opens the door. Who the hell told you to change the locks? I should beat you to death. I don't know how I survived that night. When I came to, I was in the hospital. The doctor said I needed a family member to come sign the paperwork. My dad had fled. My grandmother was still in the countryside. I had no one. So I called Alex. 11 times. He didn't answer. I thought maybe he was asleep. Until I saw Eva's social media post. It was a photo of her and Alex, the background unmistakably her bedroom. Alex was shirtless, lying on her bed. The caption read, OMG, my brother got drunk and insisted on crawling into my bed. Men. That post was probably hidden from public view. But not from me. I sat there, numb. Even the pain in my body faded into nothing. In the end, I had to call Diana and ask her mom to come help me. Alex didn't call me back until the next afternoon. What happened last night? I just saw your calls. My body was wrapped in gauze. I held back the tears burning in my eyes. I asked him, did you sleep well in Eva's bed? Alex fell silent for a moment, then sighed in exasperation. Are you mad again? I know you wanted me to stargaze with you, but seriously, aren't you tired of looking at the same damn stars? Nothing happened between Eva and me. Her dad invited me for dinner and insisted I drink. I got drunk and had to stay over. As soon as I woke up, I called you. Isn't that enough? Getting drunk, fine. Staying over, fine. But shirtless, in Eva's bed? That's not fine. Yet I hesitated. I didn't know what to say. Because to Alex, refusing to look at the boring stars with me, that was fine too. When I got out of the hospital and returned to school, Alex and Eva, the siblings, were already inseparable. And me, I had officially become the ex-girlfriend from the Northeast. Chapter 9. The breeze at the lake pavilion that night picked up. I pulled myself out of my thoughts and calmly headed home. Unexpectedly, I received a message from Alex. Did you change your application back to Harbin Tech? None of your business, I replied. I didn't want to tell Alex I had decided to go to Jongda. Alex scoffed. I knew you'd change it back. You've been by my side for 12 years, you can't live without me. If you want to go to Harbin Tech, you have to apologize to Eva first. Otherwise, you can go register on your own. I'm not giving you a ride. We had agreed long ago that I would ride with Alex and his family to the university. It was safer and more convenient. It wasn't far, but having Alex with me always made things feel better. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to Harbin Tech anymore. Without another word, I blocked Alex. Chapter 10. 2 weeks later, Alex's mother unexpectedly visited with an invitation in hand. Lisa, you and your grandmother should come to Alex's graduation banquet tonight, she said warmly. I'm not going. She looked surprised. Why not? Did you two have a fight? No time, I replied. I've already made plans with friends. Then bring your friends too. The more, the merrier, don't be shy. She smiled brightly, and my grandmother had already nodded and agreed to go. I had no choice but to attend Alex's banquet that evening. I couldn't help but wonder why he was holding a graduation banquet so late. I understood the moment I arrived. Because of Eva. She was wearing a formal dress, greeting guests at the entrance of the banquet hall with a beaming smile. When she saw me, she warmly grabbed my hand. Lisa, you're here. Come in and sit wherever you like. Alex and I booked the whole venue. She smiled sweetly and explained, "Today's my coming-of-age ceremony." I was afraid it wouldn't be lively enough, so I begged Alex to delay his banquet and hold it today too. Two events combined into one. No wonder it was so festive. Got it, I replied calmly. Eva's eyes sparkled, her joy impossible to hide. Once the banquet began, my grandmother and I found a quiet corner to sit. I had no interest in the rest of it. But Alex came over anyway. He looked helpless, his tone tinged with frustration. "Lisa, why are you hiding here? Come sit at the main table." "I'm not going. I'll be leaving soon." Alex took a deep breath, his brows furrowed. "Lisa, stop it already. I let you block me for 2 whole weeks, isn't that enough?" I shook my head again. Alex clenched his teeth. "When have we ever sat apart at a party? Are you seriously holding a grudge over something this small?" His voice drew some attention. My grandmother quickly urged me. "Lisa, let's go over there." She practically dragged me to Alex's table. Only then did Alex seem satisfied. But there was still an empty seat next to him. Then I saw Eva walking over, looking radiant. Alex's family welcomed her, since her father did business with them. "Lisa, you're here too, perfect. I was just talking with Alex about taking a trip. Once school starts, we won't have time to travel." She giggled, her dimples showing. "Let's all go together." Alex said he'd take me to climb the Great Wall. I pressed my lips together. I suddenly remembered that Alex once promised to take me to the Great Wall after our exams. He said we'd take a photo and kiss at the top. The kiss was his idea. I remembered his ears turning red as he nervously asked, "Can we kiss?" I almost laughed at how flustered he was, but my own ears had turned red too. We had known each other for 12 years, even seen each other naked as kids. Yet now, just saying the word kiss made our hearts race. But that was in the past. Now, I felt nothing but disgust. Because that night at the bar, Alex kissed Eva for 3 whole minutes during a game of truth or dare. "You two go ahead. I'm a bit busy." I refused calmly, my expression unreadable. Eva's eyes lit up, her smile stretching to her ears. Alex, however, frowned, and under the table, grabbed my hand. I calmly picked up my chopsticks and said, "I'm starving. Don't mind if I help myself." Chapter 11. After the banquet ended, I went to the restroom. Alex followed me in and grabbed my arm harshly. "Lisa, what the hell do you mean by all this?" "Nothing," I said flatly, shaking his hand off. Alex laughed bitterly in anger. "How long are you going to keep acting like this? Just change your college preference back to our hometown and it'll be fine." I even asked Eva. "She said she was going to tell you that day. It's just that you saw the application first. Even if you hadn't, Eva would have told you." "Oh, really?" If I hadn't caught it myself, Eva would have found 1,000 excuses. There's no way she would have told me the truth. I gave a light nod. "Then I should thank her." "Don't get all sarcastic with me," he snapped. "Tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm picking you up. We're hiking the Great Wall, remember, I promised you that." Then he turned and stormed off. Chapter 12. The next morning at 9, I glanced out the window. Alex and Eva were standing outside with their backpacks, looking up at my building. I didn't move. Alex shouted my name. I calmly pulled the curtain shut. "Lisa, don't regret this," he yelled, furious. "If you're gonna be this stubborn, then you can get to Harbin Tech on your own." Then he left, with Eva. They went hiking at the Great Wall together, and that same day, he posted 15 updates on his Moments feed. Every single one featured Eva. Diana nearly exploded and made sure I saw them. Taking my little sis to the Great Wall, let this southern beauty experience real sweat. LOL. Sis's legs gave out. I had to carry her. So many tourists, but she's a head-turner wherever she goes. Beauty is rare, after all. The posts were flooded with comments from classmates. What? Took Eva traveling but not Lisa? Did they really break up? Northeast ex-wife crying in the bathroom, LMAO. Not gonna lie, southern sweethearts are super pretty. Alex, take more pics. Alex, be gentle tonight. I'm worried she might cry. I read them all with a calm face. Diana, on the other hand, was fuming. That bastard did this on purpose. He's just trying to disgust you. Was he? I didn't feel disgusted. I just thought it was pathetic. Hashtag Chapter 13. The new semester began as scheduled in September. I had booked my flight in advance and left early in the morning on August 31st. I wanted to arrive at campus ahead of time to avoid any last-minute issues. Everything went smoothly, boarding, landing, and I arrived in the bustling, sweltering South. That first night, I saw a huge cockroach. It could fly. My scalp went numb from fright. Still, everything else was great. I even had 2 servings of rice noodle rolls. They were delicious. By sunrise, I had spent my first night in the South. Then my grandmother called. I picked up, a bit confused. "Grandma, what's wrong?" "Alex asked if you needed a ride to school." I told him you'd already left, but he didn't believe me. He insisted you were still hiding at home. I frowned. Didn't Alex say he wouldn't give me a ride? Before I could respond, I heard Alex's voice on the other end. "Grandma, tell Lisa to come downstairs. I've already given her enough time to cool off. It's the first day of school, let's pause the fighting and talk once we get there." His tone was impatient and annoyed. My grandmother was a little confused. Cool off? "Alex, Lisa really left already. She took the chili sauce I made too. She left yesterday." Alex sounded skeptical, still impatient. "Forget it, I'll go upstairs and find her." "Don't bother," Grandma insisted. "Lisa bought her ticket a while ago. She really left yesterday." Alex paused. His voice suddenly shifted to panic. "Plane ticket? What ticket? You don't need a flight to go to Harbin Tech." "She didn't go to Harbin Tech. She went to Jongda. Didn't she tell you?" There was dead silence on the line. Then came Alex's heavy breathing, like he'd just seen a ghost. I hung up. Hashtag Chapter 14. My college life began. After a brief period of discomfort, I started to enjoy the southern wind, the southern trees, even the flowers drifting through the southern air. People have to adapt. I had spent 12 years trailing behind Alex, never changing my environment. Now I was alone, in a strange city, taking one step at a time into a new life. But Alex came. He blocked me on campus, dark circles under his eyes, red rims around his pupils. Why? He clenched his jaw, trying to keep his lips from trembling. I sighed and walked around him. He grabbed my hand with all his strength, his voice raw and strained. "Just because Eva played a prank, you're going to treat me like this?" "Yes." I stared at him the same way I had for 12 years. Only this time there was no emotion. "Yes. I'm petty, I can't take a joke." I gave Alex an answer. His teeth chattered. "Lisa, you can't do this. You know I can't live without you. I only saw Eva as a sister. That kiss at the bar, it was just for show. Posting our trip all over social media, I just wanted you to see. I wanted you to get jealous." His voice cracked as he fought back tears. "You're cruel. You hit me with a fatal blow without saying a word. Why didn't you switch back to Harbin Tech? Was that prank really that serious?" Hashtag Chapter 15. I looked at him quietly, then shook my head. "You're right. The prank wasn't really that serious." Alex froze, staring at me. I asked him a question. "A month before the college entrance exam, when you spent the night at Eva's house, did you know where I was?" "At the park, by the lake." "You must have been there waiting for me, right?" Alex was clever. "Yes. I was wrong. I shouldn't have stayed at Eva's that night. I should have gone to you." I was silent for a long time, before slowly pushing his hand away. "Alex, that night, my dad came back." Alex went stiff, his worry instantly visible. He pulled me into a hug. "He hit you?" "Yes. I was waiting for you at the pavilion by the lake." My dad slapped me over and over, kicked me again and again. I smiled as if recounting something trivial. He called me a whore, said I was seducing random men. He reeked of alcohol, and the blood in my mouth tasted metallic. Alex started to shake. His pupils contracted again and again, fists clenching like a wild beast about to snap. I tilted my head up to look at him, eyes empty. That night, I was in so much pain. And you, bare-chested, lying in Eva's bed, sleeping soundly. You missed 11 of my calls." Alex let out a pained roar. He punched a nearby tree so hard, his teeth clenched in agony. I sniffled. But it's okay now. I'm doing great, better than ever actually. Let's end it here. And thank Eva for me. I accepted her prank. I really like Jungda. Hashtag chapter 16. I don't know when Alex left. He didn't bother me again. A week later, my grandma told me that my dad had been arrested and jailed for injuring someone while drunk. I immediately knew it was Alex. He was smart. He knew how to get revenge and still achieve his goal. But I didn't dwell on it. I was enjoying my college life. During the National Day break, I went home. At the gate, I ran into Eva. She had been waiting for me. We locked eyes. Her smugness was gone, replaced by hatred and bitterness. Lisa, you win. Alex won't let me stay by his side anymore. Her words dripped with resentment. I just don't get it. What is it about you that attracts him? Are you prettier than me? Kinder? More considerate? She stepped closer, glaring at me. You're no better than me. You just knew him earlier. That's the only reason you won so easily. I was annoyed. What are you rambling about? Transfer me 20,000 yuan. Eva was stunned for a moment, then sneered. So smug. But you're at Jungda, and I'm at the same school as Alex. Even if he loves you, a 2,000-kilometer distance is enough to open cracks. I'm right next to him. Who knows who'll win in the end? She was declaring war. I found her annoying. I turned and walked away. Take him, then. Go get a hotel room. I'll pay for it. Eva froze again. From the shadows around the corner, a thin figure stepped out. It was Alex, unshaven, lifeless eyes. The handsome school prince from before was gone. I stopped and looked at him calmly. Eva panicked, quickly fixing her hair and forcing a smile. Alex, you're here too? I was just passing by. Get lost. Alex's voice was low and restrained. Eva burst into tears and tried to hug him. Alex, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone to Lisa on my own. I couldn't help it. Why is she better than me? Why? I said, get lost. Hashtag chapter 17. Eva left in a daze. Alex stared at me, speechless for a long time. I turned to head back inside when he finally spoke. Lisa, I've decided to drop out and retake my senior year. I want to get into Central University. I remained silent. He forced a smile. I know I messed up badly, so I want to use this year to make it up to you. Wait for me at Central. I promise I'll come find you. His tone was sincere, almost like a solemn vow. But I no longer needed his promises. Still, I said nothing. Alex became anxious. Lisa, just give me a chance. I really can't live without you. 1 year from now, I'll find you, and we'll start over. No. I didn't look forward to that at all. For the past 12 years, I had looked forward to seeing Alex every single day. I looked forward to our lakeside dates, to him lying on my lap watching the stars, to him stroking my hair and saying how good it smelled. But now, I just wished he'd leave me alone. So I let out a soft sigh. Alex, do you really think this is meaningful anymore? Hashtag chapter 18. Alex could barely stay on his feet. The words he wanted to say wouldn't come out. Eventually, he stumbled off and disappeared into the darkness. I went home, gave my grandmother the gift I brought her, and slept soundly for the first time in a while. After the National Day holiday, I returned to Central University and threw myself completely into my studies. I'd always been a bit lazy, with no great ambitions. Since childhood, I'd followed Alex's lead, so I lacked my own direction. Now that I was on my own, I found new motivation. I decided I had to get into graduate school. I had to earn a doctorate. In my senior year, I was accepted directly into grad school and continued pushing forward into more advanced fields. During that time, I went home a few times, but I rarely saw Alex. Diana told me he didn't end up dropping out. He stayed at his university in Harbin, studied like a madman, and shut out the world. He still had plenty of admirers. After all, he had a handsome face. As for Eva, she clung to Alex desperately, becoming the laughingstock of their school. After multiple incidents of inappropriate behavior, she was actually asked to leave by the university. Lesson learned. Being obsessed with love leads nowhere. I, on the other hand, never fell in love again. I couldn't even muster the interest. Sometimes, late at night, I'd remember that little boy's tear-streaked face from when we were 6. But I'd quickly smile and let it go. Chapter 19. After finishing graduate school, I went abroad immediately for my PhD. I had a full scholarship anyway. Once I completed all my studies, I received an offer from one of the country's top companies. All the hardships and challenges I'd faced had become nourishment for my growth. I was no longer the same girl from before. When I got home, my grandmother didn't even recognize me. She rubbed her hands nervously. "Miss, is there something I can help you with?" I couldn't help but laugh. "Miss Grandma, it's me, Lisa." I hugged her tightly, overwhelmed with emotion. She was stunned for a moment, then finally burst into tears. "Lisa, my Lisa." My eyes welled up too. I didn't want to let go. At dinner, she made her famous braised pork and reminisced about the past. "That boy loved this dish. You insisted on learning it just to cook it for him. You burned your hands with blisters. He was so worried." "Really?" I could barely remember. I had even forgotten what Alex looked like. Grandma kept talking. "I saw him yesterday, standing by your window, lost in thought. Almost got hit by a car. His mother told me he started his own research company. He's quite the eligible bachelor now. Definitely good enough for you." And there it was, marriage talk. I held up my hand to stop her. I didn't even want the braised pork anymore. Grandparents are like that, always trying to get you married. I made an excuse to go out for a walk and explore the now unfamiliar hometown. The roads were wider, more streetlights, old neighborhoods renovated. Only the lake in the park remained unchanged. I walked around the lake and spotted someone sitting on a bench. He was tall and lean, dressed in a black suit, a can of beer beside him. His presence was sharp, but he looked completely exhausted. He looked out of place, like a CEO sitting down at a street stall for skewers. Lots of people were staring at him, especially the women out for evening walks. There was something striking about him. I paused, a faint sense of nostalgia tugging at my heart. "Alex, long time no see." Chapter 20. I walked toward Alex. At that moment, Alex received a phone call. His voice trembled with excitement. "Mom, you really saw Lisa? She's back in the country? Okay, I'm going to find her now." He hung up and turned around, only to lock eyes with me. I smiled and nodded. "Hello, Alex." He froze in place, his eyes wide, and without warning, they turned red with emotion. He couldn't say a word, only fumbled with his hair and tie, trying to compose himself. It took a while for him to calm down. He looked at me with joy and awe. I gestured for him to sit. We sat down on a bench, where we could see a young couple in the lakeside pavilion secretly kissing. I chuckled. To be young." Alex finally spoke. "Lisa, I almost didn't recognize you. I've waited 10 years for you. All these years, I kept wondering what kind of outstanding man would be worthy of you. So I never dared to slack off. I studied like crazy, went to grad school, started a company. I just wanted to become someone worthy enough to wait for your return. Now that we've reunited, I realize, no man is truly worthy of you." He said a lot. His tone no longer had the arrogance or immaturity of our youth. I listened quietly, smiling from time to time. 10 years had flown by. Whatever emotions had once existed between us were long gone. At least for me. The pain I once thought would be unforgettable, it didn't even compare to pinching my own fingers now. That prank with my college application that used to keep me awake all night. Now I could genuinely laugh about it. The bruises from my father's fists, the 11 unanswered phone calls to Alex while I waited alone at the pavilion. None of it stirred me anymore. That's the power of time. After a long pause, Alex finally asked nervously. "Lisa, you came to see me, was there something you wanted to say?" His question stumped me. What was there to say? Nothing, really. I had simply returned to my home country, ran into an old friend, and came to say hello. That was all. So I smiled at him. Just wanted to say hi. Alex's face paled. His smile turned stiff. "I see. Then let me take this chance to apologize. I was young and thoughtless back then. I hurt you. I'm sorry." I nodded. Accepted. Then silence. I stood up to leave. Alex mustered his courage and tried to stop me. Lisa, since you forgave me, can we start over? Hashtag chapter 21. Afraid I might refuse, he kept talking non-stop. I waited for you 10 years. In those 10 years, I kept checking in on you. I bought 165 plane tickets to Jungda and 81 international flights. I saw you shine at the English competition. I saw you feeding pigeons in a foreign square. Truly, I never left your side. His eyes were full of tenderness, and his hands trembled non-stop. He feared my rejection. I was a bit surprised. Alex, you're actually kind of devoted. But I've already forgotten most of our past. I forgot you loved braised pork. I forgot that face of yours dripping with water that once made my heart race. I even forgot what it felt like, that bone-deep pain you caused me. So I shook my head gently. Sorry, I could never love you again. Alex crumbled instantly. His straight back slumped, and he stared blankly at his toes, unmoving. I waved. Goodbye. I paused, turned around, and smiled. Alex, let me leave you with one sentence. The worst ending between two people isn't falling out of love, it's falling out of hatred. I stopped hating you a long time ago. So, I wish you well. Alex froze, murmuring to himself, and then broke down sobbing. I no longer paid attention. I walked toward the setting sun. I had always loved the sunset over the lake in the park. Because that bit of twilight was always unspeakably beautiful. And today, it was more beautiful than ever.